We're going to take a break. When we return, we will say good morning to Dean Torrance as we celebrate the music of Jan and Dean. We'll be right back.
We're in the surf room, Surf City, here we go. I'll strap a board to my back and hitch a ride in my wetsuit. Surf City, here we go. And when I get to Surf City, I'll be shooting the girl and checking out the parties for a surfer girl. And I'm gonna Surf City 'cause it's 201. Yeah, I'm gonna surf. Little old lady from Pasadena. The little old lady from Pasadena. Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny, go.
As ever, welcome back to Murphy in the Morning. It is with great pleasure now. We welcome to our program, and we'll show you the phone numbers. We'd welcome your calls as well. Half of Jan and Dean, Dean Torrance. Good morning.
Oh, hi.
It's great to have you
Good to
here.
see you.
Was Little Old Lady from Pasadena, in terms of record sales, I don't know, was that the biggest of all the hits? Did that sell the most, do you recall?
How am I supposed to?
You're the guy that they send the checks to.
No, I mean, does that mean what we got paid for? or
Well,
what
no, I just mean in
actual
terms
sales?
of, you know, you had...
Because, you know, they always skim a little. You never really know exactly what, you know.
Yeah. Well, what would you consider of all the gold records like the biggest hit? Was it, you know, Surf City or...
I think it was probably Surf City because Surf City was more, it was international more than most of our other records. I mean, Surf City was on the charts in England and in Australia. They even named a beach after Surf City. There is a beach called Surf City. I've not been there, but I've heard about it. And you know, New Zealand and all those places, even Japan. I mean, the record was very big in Japan. So sometimes he had an international hit, sometimes just national hits, depending on the subject matter. Of course, nobody understood the little old lady from Pasadena very much. So, you know, surfing was a little bit easier for most people with a language barrier to understand.
Yeah. When the California sound and the surf sound first came aboard, as a matter of fact, I'm going to show something because you never met me, but I saw you before. I want to show you something, and I'm trying to remember, and you'll have to help me because, which camera do you want me to hold this on? That one, right? I think this is either from 63 or 64. When I was a kid growing up in New York City, this was Murray the K's holiday show at the Fabian Fox Theater. The Angels, the Chiffons, the Dovelles, the Drifters, Gene Pitney, the Ronettes, Benny King, the Times, the Shirelles, Randy the Rainbows, the Miracles, Jay and the Americans, and Jan and Dean. No. I mean, you got top billing. But I was just thinking. I was remembering, and I remember this so specifically. When the show ended, we all were standing outside trying to get autographs and what have you. And most of these guys were coming out in sharkskin suits and pointed shoes and the whole bit. And then all of a sudden, you and Jan came out with your loafers or your tennis shoes or your white
same stuff.
The whole bit. Was it at first? In terms of working with the people who are also in the rock and roll business, were people kind of wondering, like, what are you guys all about? What is this surfing sound? And because it was really very, very different from Bristol Stomp and that sort of stuff.
Being native Californians, see, we didn't think it was all that different.
Yeah.
We were just writing songs about things that we were involved in.
Yeah.
And those were pretty much everyday things that we were doing, and that was our lifestyle as far back as we could remember. So we just didn't think it was that strange until we met some of those people.
the real strange people. Now,
Yeah.
you and Jan were in junior high together and also in high school, like University High in West Los Angeles. But you became friends when you were both around the football squad?
Yeah.
That kind of business? When did Jan and Dean officially become Jan and Dean, the singing group?
Well, I guess officially, we did write a song in high school that collectively about 6 or 7 or 8 of us, and then it just by attrition kind of worked its way down to only 2 guys left, and the 2 guys being Jan and an old buddy of ours from high school named Arnie Ginsberg. And they put out a record that was a hit. I had left and gone into the Army thinking that I had an opportunity to get in and get it over with. 6 months program was still available. So I thought, great opportunity. I had not done anything in my life up to this point, you know, except go to high school. So I figured, you know, 6 months isn't going to kill me. Of course, I go in the Army and a record comes out. I go, I missed it.
Jan and Arnie.
Yeah. So, but they just didn't, they just didn't really, they weren't comfortable together working creatively, so not being comfortable creatively, Arnie joined the Navy, of course. I mean, that's what you do when you're comfortable creatively. And I got out of the Army, of course, 6 months later, and so the first official record we had was summer of 1959.
Baby Talk.
Baby Talk.
Now, Baby Talk was, of all your hits, there was no surf California sound to that song. That was a whole different approach.
That was your generic doo-wop.
Bop, 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 dap, dap, wow, wow.
We were just copying everybody else.
Yeah. We should also mention, because I had mentioned yesterday on the show that Jan and Dean would both be on the program today. Obviously, Jan is not here. I know that Jan and Dean fans remember full well the horrible story of the automobile accident in April of 1966. And I hope I'm not the victim of journalists who were right about it, but I'm told that it ironically occurred like about a mile from the scene of Dead Man's Curve that you guys read about. Is that true? Not that it makes that much of a difference.
Well, not that, no. Close enough to be very ironic, yes.
Yeah.
Within a couple of miles, right off of Sunset, like 3 blocks off of Sunset. And most of that song was written about that whole stretch of road.
Jan all but died. I mean, he lost speech, he lost the ability to walk, and most of the people were saying that he would not survive. He has survived, and as a matter of fact, he is in town with you today, but I guess his situation is such that some days are better than others as far as being able to do...
It's pretty much an everyday process. In terms of today, we flew all day yesterday and didn't get in till late last night, so we're still on California time.
Yeah.
And we are doing a concert tonight. I just felt it was better for him to sleep in. Also, he's slow. Yeah. and to get him up and out in the morning is pretty difficult to do. He's really a night person, actually. Yeah. In fact, one of our friends is here in the audience and got a call from him at 5 o'clock this morning. So, yeah. But that's only 2 o'clock his time.
Yeah, well, you're on California time right now, so for you it's like a tad after 7.
Wow.
And I'm sure you usually get up at this time in the morning.
I'm usually getting home at this time. So
you guys had quite, I was looking at the schedule over the past 3 years. You did a lot of touring, including Caesar's Tahoe, and you also visited the People's Republic of China?
Oh, yeah. That probably was one of the most interesting places we ever went as a band. Yeah. Or ever went, actually. It was a great thrill to be. We were guests of the government. Yeah. I mean, they check you out, make sure that your songs aren't too political, and of course, come on, our song's not exactly very political. I don't think they understood what they were about, but they understood that at least they weren't political. Yeah. It was fascinating. We had a great time. The young Chinese person really, really loves Americans, and they are absolutely fascinated with Americans and America. They will become, I think, trading partners relatively soon, the next maybe 5 years. Yeah. I would love to be able to say that Jan and Dean are in town and you'll be able to see them, but maybe next visit. You're in town for an appearance, but it's a private visit, and I guess it's all part and parcel with the opening of Health South Rehabilitation Center in Largo, and this is just a multifaceted organization that will be helping people with some particularly serious medical problems and what have you. You're going to be singing for them tonight? You know, a concert? Yeah, we will be singing for them, like staff, mostly the staff personnel, and just to commemorate the opening of it. These are important facilities. If Jan had been more involved in going to a facility such as this when he first got out of the hospital, he would have been much better off a lot quicker.
Jan now has a facility in his name out in California.
Yes, he does, but it's more or less it's a outpatient facility. This is an inpatient facility. There is some difference there. Even as an outpatient facility, at the time of his accident, there was no outpatient facility. They kind of went from inpatient from the hospital, dumped back into usually dumped back on their parents.
Yeah.
And young people were, and parents don't know what to do. I mean, it's a very complicated situation, and it does take professionals. So, you know, the technology is just getting so much better. People are more qualified now, you know, to run these facilities that most of these people with head trauma and or other injuries really have a better chance of surviving it and at least coming back to, you know, full potential.
Yeah.
So we are involved with as many of these kinds of projects as we can get involved in.
Okay, I'll tell you what, there are lots of folks on the phone who would like to say hello. We will take a short break. When we return, we will continue our visit this morning with Dean Torrance and the great music of Jan and Dean. We'll be right back.
I bought a 34 wagon and we call it a Woody. Surf City, here we come. You know it's not very cherry, it's an oldie but a goodie. Surf City, here we come. Well, it ain't got a backseat or a rear window, but it still gets me where I wanna go. Grab your board and go sidewalk surfing with me. Don't be afraid to try the newest sport around.
Welcome back to Murphy in the Morning. It's Batman. I don't remember that one.
Me neither.
We're visiting with Dean Torrance of Jan and Dean. As promised, we will go to the phones. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to let Dean and Jan know, for that matter, that my husband and I both have enjoyed your music for years, and we have 5 children, and the oldest one can spot every one of your songs the minute he hears it playing anywhere. And we've really, really enjoyed it. And as far as Jan goes, I think the whole world's heart went out to him when you had your accident, and we just, you know, hope, and our prayers are still with him. And we wish you all the luck in the world in the future. And your concert goes well tonight.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think that's what has made it very interesting this time around. We call this phase 2, is that we are drawing, except in, you know, tonight, when we play like theme parks, or we play a lot of fair dates and those kinds of venues, that families come.
Yeah.
And it's like the over 30s, over 40s, and the under 18s and 17s. So we have that, you know, real spread. It's really fun.
There's a great thing going on in the country right now. I have a 7-year-old daughter, and we listen to WHBO, which is the all-oldie station in town. She knows the words as well. I mean, it's just transcending generations, not because it was the best music there was. We knew what we were talking about. Back to the phones. Good morning. You're on the air with Dean Torrance.
Good morning. This is Jim Blank from St. Pete.
Hi.
How you doing?
Fine.
It's a real pleasure to talk with Dean, and I want to say the same thing. I was going to mention WHBO, and they play all your hits. Everybody loves you guys and love your songs. And
That's 10:40 a.m., isn't it?
Yeah,
Just
sure
wanted
is.
to be sure. Yeah.
That's with Scott Robbins and Howard Hughes and all the good guys over there.
We're talking about the same station.
Okay, I just wanted to ask Dean, have you given any consideration to coming back out with new material? Your old songs are great. We love them. They'll last forever. But I see all the old rock and rollers, and I just wonder if any of them are going to come out with a single of their own. Have you given any thought to that at all?
I've given it, you know, some thought. At this point, you know, I mean, I really do appreciate, you know, our time off when we do have some time off. And actually, we only work. We did about 80 concerts last year. It doesn't sound a lot, but that does take a lot of time. And in our downtime, I love to just be able to, you know, go out in my yard and play in the yard and do some landscaping or.
I mean, you do all normal stuff?
I love doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And just to think about, you know, when you were younger, sitting around writing songs, that took a lot of discipline, took a lot of time, and you were never really guaranteed that anything would happen with it, which is fine when you're young. But when you get older, you know, it's no more. You don't like to spec your time as much.
Yeah.
Although I had a meeting at Dick Clark's office a couple of weeks ago, and he is thinking of starting maybe a record company and a production company that would involve artists that had hits back in the 60s. Because right now, you know, most major record companies, they are looking for, you know, I can understand this, they're looking for double platinum and triple platinum albums. It isn't like it was back in the 60s where a record company was 100,000 units at a time. they really need the big numbers, and they can't be bothered with anything less than that.
Let me show you a quick address here, because we're very happy to know that Jan and Dean are here, and with any luck at all, someday soon we'll be saying, hey, they are in concert in our neck of the woods. The Jan and Dean Fan Club is up in Sumner, Washington. The zip code is 98390. The 6-863-0730. Needless to say, it's just a great pleasure to have you on the show.
Well,
and
thank you
as the
very
caller
much.
said, our very, very best to Jan, and we hope you guys will be back soon so we can all enjoy the music of Jan and Dean.
We shall return.
Righty. We'll be back to say goodbye right after this break and some more Jan and Dean music.
In Hawaii, there's a place, Waimea Bay, where the best surfers in the world come to stay and ride the wild surf they.
Here it comes. Quickly thank Chuck Amzabel and the folks at Health South Rehabilitation Center in Largo for helping us put this show together today. Dean Torrance, our thanks to you as well. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow.
But parked in a rickety old garage is a brand new shiny red super stock Dodge. Hearing that there's nobody meaner than the little old lady from Pasadena.
Jan Berry will be here in a little bit, but in the meantime, welcome Dean. Oh, thank you. Listen, we were sitting here talking. I've been in radio for 150 years, going back to the days of kerosene radio, playing Jan and Dean records, which we do now on Z93, and I wasn't aware of all the many facets of your two careers. Of course, a lot of that was in the movie Dead Man's Curve, which we remember on CBS, and a lot of the story came out, of course, after the tragedy in 1966. But it's interesting to read all the many things that you all have done and the people you've worked with and the many twists your careers have taken. You weren't aware of that, do you?
No, matter of fact, I've been
read about it.
I've been doing that same bio, going, my goodness, I guess that we've been in it now. This is our 30th year.
Many years I've been in radio. I know about it.
But we used to record by kerosene too. But a lot has. I mean, I guess 30 years is really a long time. It seems quick, but then you look back and you think of all the stuff that's going on and all the people you have worked with and what they're doing now, and you realize, boy, that started a pretty long. Stuff does take time to happen, and it's fun.
Jan and Dean are in town for a very special moment when Pulse Plus continues. This is Dean Torrance of Jan and Dean here today, and he's in town with Jan for a very special purpose, and that's to open a rehabilitative center in Largo.
Yeah, we're more or less here for the celebration, actually. But we're going to get to see the facility, I think, in a couple of hours, so we're looking forward to that. Jan has been involved in a facility out in L.A. Called Ranchos Los Amigos, which was one of the first specialists probably in the United States. And now Jan has his own kind of little Jan Berry Center where patients come in on a out basis. So, because normally when at center, they literally usually just drop back into their, family's laps.
Yeah.
So there has to be kind of almost a halfway house, if you will. And Jan has his own center in LA for.
And this is what's opening in Largo then, that kind of a center for head injury patients.
Brand new.
We're going to be talking more about this tomorrow too, with another head injury victim, which we'll be telling more about later on this show and then tomorrow too.
Well, head injury victims aren't usually on time. So
that's Jan is a little late. We were hoping he might make it by here, but he really obviously is still very much limited in what he can do. But you all still can tour and sing and be crazy.
Well, we're very lucky that rock and roll still works for us, and I really appreciate the fact that they can see that it is a struggle for him, but the music is just is so much fun that it doesn't really make any difference exactly how you execute it as long as it's executed.
Yeah.
So we've been having a good time.
You all were famous for a lot of real wild and crazy songs back in the 60s. The little old lady from Pasadena.
It's a regular song.
Yeah, sure, just a little song. But there's such...
Julio Iglesias does tunes like that all the time.
Hey, that's what they got to have. Julio Iglesias doing Jan and Dean's greatest hits. There's a terrific version. Write that down. There is such a resurgence now with the baby boomers and whole radio formats. I know of which I speak, being involved in that right now, that people are really enjoying this. And of course, this is perfect for you all being on tour right now.
Well, what's been nice for us is it's not only the baby boomers, but it's the baby boomers' kids. So baby boomers are now coming with their families. So we're getting kind of the 35s and over and the 18s and under, and we have just a little bit of a soft spot in between there. But I think that's what makes it fun, is when you have real young people, you know, that know all the words. And, you know, you're in radio, and there is a real following of young people, and young people also like modern music too. So it isn't as though they just like one kind of music, like when we were like just one kind of music. Now it can be all sorts of music, and I think it's real healthy.
And what you say is true, too. The requests for the surf songs particularly come from youngsters. Hey, can you... And little old lady from Pasadena, they love that.
Well,
we're lucky. Well, we'll wait till Julio Iglesias' album comes out in the meantime.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, yeah.
Dean, thanks a million for being with us here, and you're going to be with Mark Larson. He'll be on Z93 this afternoon on 93.3 on FM, and you'll be able to hear a lot of Jan and Dean music, as well as from Jan and Dean themselves. Thanks for being on Pulse Plus.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for the invitation.
I got it bad for the new girl in school. The guys are flipping, but I'm playing it cool. Everybody's passing notes in class. They really dig her, now she's such a gas. Jealous of the new girl so down. They put her down and they treat her so cool now. But the guys are going out of their minds now. She's the new girl in school.
Thank you very much. And now, back to the beginning. Ba 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 da da wa 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 ba 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 da wa 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 ba 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 da da wa 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 ba but I know that she looks just that way to see. In baby talk. say she loves me. She cannot speak very well. Everybody knows. But to me she's so wild. In her baby clothes. Fire for love is only cast. Yeah. Dap, 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 dap. Dap, 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 dap. Dap, dap, dap. Dap, dap, dap. You guys are too smart. I'll tell the world that I love her so. And if she wants to be my girl, I'll never, ever let her go. Dap, 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 dap. She will say to me, when I kiss her on the cheek, oh so tender, baby, although I'm only 5 years old, she is only 10. You're just too smart. I can't fool you. Love my baby. All together now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dap, 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 dap. Dap, 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 dap. Dap, 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 dap. Dap, dap, dap. Oh, that's too much. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Calm down now. Let's not get too rowdy. Heard about you guys. How many of you remember some of those stupid car songs? Remember those suckers? That's what I thought. Nobody remembers those suckers. Let's just move on. So nobody wants to hear those, right? Oh, you do want to hear those? Oh. Okay, you sure? Oh, good. Do some of you know the words to these suckers? Okay. Wow. Because I know Jan doesn't. So. Oh, yeah. We may need some help, so we expect everybody to kind of sing along with these. If you recognize them. We're still barely recognizing. Maybe we're learning something. Okay, are you ready now? This looks like a very rowdy bunch, kind of. We need you to rev up some engines so we can head to the drag strip. Of that border line. My car has 0 kills. I'll up to the top with Chloe Bear's wheels. Got to look out. Gonna get my chicken naked out the drag city. Look out! Oh, you're going to drag city. Let it drive. City. Drag city. Let it drive. Drag city. What does she do now?
know what I got. Little blues, you don't know what I got. She got a combination with a four on the floor, and she purrs like a kitten till my pots roar. If that ain't enough to make you flip your head, oh, one thing I got. Moving off the line when the light turns green. Rolling out the water like you never seen. Just cool, got a shake. It was hard to steer. Just cool, can't run the all for you. She's my little loose scoop. You don't know what I got. Little loose scoop. You don't know what I got. She's my little loose scoop. You don't know what I got. Little loose scoop. You don't know what I got. She's my little loose scoop. You don't know what I got. Tack it up, buddy, gonna shut you down. Rev 'em up.
All right, let's go.
Rapping at the spin where the road is wide. Now, short standing side by side. Now, take a stingray and a 4-3. Ready up now, rolling up the ridges and it sounds real. Ready up now, tack it up, buddy, gonna shut you down.
Okay, go.
Declining numbers at an even rate. Right now, at the count of one, we will accelerate. Right now, victory is high, since the start. Move it out now, 413's really digging. Move it out now, gotta be cool now. Power shift, here we go. Look out, that power shift to come. Stop, I just want it out in the road. But my feeling check the steamers in the starting to grow. Crash it on the rock, I'll push the baby bird and that's the key.
Thank you. Woo!
Thank you very much.
Audience.
Hey, we're gonna do it. That was for all you hot rodders. We're gonna do a set for all the ladies. So, ladies, don't go away here now. This is dedicated to you, to you all. I mean, that's what. I
Oh,
meant.
let them relax, you know.
No, we want these ladies to come up here so we can see them. Okay, this is to. How many Hawaiian ladies do we have with us tonight? I know there's a bunch, right? Okay,
Yeah.
I knew it right there.
One
Oh,
right
dummy, I
there.
can see that. Okay, we got a couple. Song about one of his very favorite Hawaiian ladies. How many ladies would like to be in Hawaii? What about that? Let's all tell Richard that we want a facility in Hawaii, okay? And I'll want to be sent there. Okay, Jan's going to sing us some for all the ladies that would like to be in Hawaii.
Honolulu.
Queen of the super she's got stars in her eyes and knots on her knees. Now her crazy questions when they sway to the breeze. Now riding down the heavy or lying in the sand. She's an ever surfer girl and she's mine. Honolulu, she's mine. Honolulu, queen of the super well, that has all the fickle memory. You're my and all the surfing doors perfect. When the beach is quiet and you know I'm luck with paper, so we'll take it out with our truck. Hey, she's mine. She's mine. Queen of the superhero. We have a little Hawaiian guitar. Brought to you by Philip Bartlett. Doing a little music from North Shore, Hawaii. Yeah. Hey, she's mine. She's mine. Queen of the supergirl. She's got a little hole when she's trying to do a spin around the wax with her nose. Over the post that I hang
Oh, Bill, there. You don't understand.
Hey, get those hands together, you rowdies.
Oh, like that.
We may even attempt to sing along here tonight if you think you're up to it, but at least get those hands together. Who's singing this? Gary? Okay, get those hands together and get ready to sing along with Gary. You know this one.
Oh, God.
Feeling late at night, and in the morning I just lay in bed. Ooh, you look so fine, look so fine. Don't take much time. Help me run, help me get her out of my heart. You gotta get ready. Help me run, help me run. 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 Help me run, yeah, get her out of my heart.
That's my turn.
She was gonna be a woman and I was gonna be her man.
Hey, Rhonda.
She met another guy, come between us and he shut my plan. Come on, yeah. Rhonda, you caught my eye. You caught my eye. I give you lots of reasons why. You gotta help me run, help me get her out of my heart.
Get ready, the three of you.
Help me run, help me run. 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 Help me run, yeah, get her out of my heart.
Ah, yeah, good job.
Help me run, help me run. 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 Help me run, yeah, get her out of my heart.
A little bit louder.
Help me run, yeah, get her out of my heart.
Beautiful. One all by yourself.
Help me run, yeah.
Oh, you're good. Good. Thank you. Give me another big hand.
Oh, a little old lady from Pasadena.
It's the little old lady from Pasadena.
The little old lady from Pasadena
Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny, go.
has the pretty little flowers of white gardenia.
Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny, go.
But parked in a rickety old garage, there's a brand new shiny red superstar car. Hey, everybody oh, Pasadena.
She drives me
She's a terror of Colorado Boulevard.
It's the little old lady from Pasadena.
If you see her on the strip, don't try to choose her.
Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny, go.
You might have a goer, but you'll never lose her.
Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny, go.
Well, she's gonna get a ticket out sooner or later, 'cause you can't keep her foot off the accelerator. Hey! Everybody's saying there's nobody made it. Little old lady from Pasadena.
Drives you fast and she drives you hard.
She's a terror of Colorado Boulevard.
The little old lady from Pasadena.
Go, Everybody saying that there's nobody meaner than the little old lady from Pasadena. She's the terror of Colorado Boulevard. She's the little old lady from Pasadena. Yeah. Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny. Oh, Granny, go. Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny. Granny. Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny. Granny. Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny, go. Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny. Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny. Go, Granny, go, Granny, go, Granny, go. Go, Granny, go, Granny. Thank you very much. Oh, that little old lady, kind of a precious
Thank
song.
you. A real sad thing just happened here.
Ah.
All the guitars went off. What's rock and roll without guitars? Anybody bring an extra amp or two? You guys have some amps?
Oh, yeah, Dean.
Richard, where's your band?
No, I got it. Ready?
Oh, Jan's got it. You got the amplifier? Oh, you gonna?
I found my trail on Blueberry Hill, on Blueberry Hill. When I went to our moon stood still on Blueberry and lingered and still my dreams come.
Well, my guitar works. That's all I care about.
Well,
You're not playing guitar?
our
Chris
power.
has got a guitar over there.
Power
We all
up.
powered up.
Yeah.
Ah, this is for all the ladies who wish they were in California.
dancing in my stingray late one night when the XK pulled the right down the window of the shiny new train. And she made that and there to a drag. I said, you're all funny, my mill's running fine. Come off the line now and sunset's fine. But I owe you one better if you've got the nerve. Let's race all the way to Dead Man's Curve. There's no place to play. Dead Man's Curve. Let's keep away. Dead Man's Curve. I can hear 'em say, go down back down Dead Man's The wolves had off the light. They both popped the clutch when the light turned green. You should have heard the one from the screaming machine. I flew past the bright shrubs and crescent highs, and all I could see was a 666. You passed me at the honey when we started to swear, but I put it all in there good at Dead Man's Curve. Well, the last thing I remember, Doc, I started to swear. And then I saw the jets sing into the... I know I'll never forget that horrible sight. I guess I found out for myself that everyone was right. Won't come back from Dead Man's Curve.
A big hand for Jan Berry, the man who came back from Dead Man's Curve.
Oh, thank you very much for the good vibration.
And the way the sunlight plays upon her hair. Hear the sound of her gentle word, and the wind that lifts her perfume through the air. Oh, yeah. She's giving me hypnosis. Ooh, bop, bop, good vibrations, bop, bop, excitation, bop, bop, good vibrations, bop, bop, excitation.
Oh, closer.
Softly smile, I know she must be kind.
Oh, cry.
It goes with me to a blossom world. She's giving me hypnosis. Ooh, bop, bop, good vibrations, bop, bop, excitation, bop, bop, good vibrations, bop, bop, excitation, bop, bop, good vibrations, bop, bop, excitation.
Gotta keep those loving good vibrations are happening with her. Gotta keep those loving good vibrations are happening with her. Gotta keep those loving good vibrations are happening.
Looks like Jan's out there selecting a vocalist or two. Oh, that's no vocalist. We might have maybe just a little sing-along maybe tonight would be in order. We'll kind of try all of you together. Maybe the next time the song comes around. You guys know this well enough to sing along with us? Okay, we're going to attempt it. So get ready. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty damn good. The Health South Sing-Along. All right. This is what's going to be emanating from the new facility. All sorts of good vibrations. Everybody. Doug's going to sing a little verse. Come on, Doug. Show Jan how to sing that sucker. He's still trying to figure it out.
Working. Good vibration.
All right. Okay, we're gonna get to the part you've probably all been waiting for, because you guys look like a bunch of screamers to me. There's that real big chord, after this thing, where everybody gets to scream out as loud as they can. You ready to do the screaming part? Get ready. 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Good vibrations, excitations, good vibrations,
Everybody, oh. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Look out! Oh, that's time. Really good. Oh.
I like it. I don't know about you. Thank you. Ooh. Oh, we're going to do this salute now.
Thank you.
Wow.
We were going to do a little dance set, but I think we're going to save it for a second or two. We noticed we were by some water here. We thought we might take you all on a little sailing trip. How many want to go sailing tonight? How many would like to go on the Jan and Dean sloop and sail the Caribbean tonight? Seems like a nice night to go sailing. We got a few holes in our sails. The rudder fell off. The bilge doesn't work. Jan's driving. I don't know. I guess we'll still make it. So ready to go along? Fill up those sails with some nice Caribbean wind. We come on the sloop John B, my grandfather and me. Around Nassau town we did roam, drinking all night, drinking a Bud Light. Got into a fight with Spuds McKenzie. Well, I feel so broke up, I wanna go home. Everybody, hoist up the John B sails, see how the mainsail sets. Call for the captain ashore, let me go home. I wanna go home. Why don't you let me go home? Yeah, yeah. Well, I feel so broke up, I wanna go home. Chris will tell you what happened next. Do it, do it.
The first mate he got drunk and broke in the captain's trunk. The constable had to come and take him away. Derek Johnson, why don't you leave me alone? Yeah, yeah. Well, I feel so broke up, I wanna go home.
Everybody on those sails.
So hoist up the John B, hoist up the John B. See how the mainsail, see how the mainsail. Come on, the captain ashore, let me go home, let me go home. I wanna go home, let me go home. Why don't you let me go home? I feel so broke up, I wanna go home. Hoist up the John B.
Poor cook, he got the fits. He threw away all my grits. But then he took and he ate up all of my Haagen-Dazs. I wanna go home. Why don't you let me go home?
I feel so broke up, I wanna go home.
Hoist up those sails one more time.
Hoist up the John B, hoist up the John B. See how the mainsail, see how the mainsail. Come for the captain ashore, let me go home, let me go home. I wanna go home, let me go home. Why don't you let me go home?
It's the worst trip I've ever been on. Thank you. Thank you for going along. Now you're nice and cooled off, right? All that nice salt water on your face. So you're kind of laid back, right? All of a sudden. I think it's time for the semi-famous Jan and Dean dance party. Just semi-famous.
Oh, wow, that's good.
We still have a lot of room on this dance floor. I'd like to see some of those folks that haven't been up here yet boogie.
Somebody.
Press some of those folks that haven't been
Way
here to
back
get
there.
their tails up and shake it. Let's boogie! Put those hands together. Woo! We may even have a dance contest or something like that.
Tell me, baby, I'm your lover man. Oh, baby, do you wanna dance? Do you wanna dance under the moonlight? Kiss me, baby, all through the night. Oh, baby, do you wanna dance?
Let's do shake it one time.
Do you wanna dance? Do you wanna dance? Do you wanna dance?
Come on, well.
Do you wanna dance and make romance? Kiss, squeeze all through the night, oh baby. Do you wanna dance? Everybody clap your hands. After 6 hours of school, I had enough of the day. I hit the radio dial and turned it up all the way. We dance, dance, dance while the beat's really hot. Dance, dance, dance while it's there on the spot. Dance, dance, dance while the beat's really hot. Dance, 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 yeah. When I feel put down, I like to shake it off quick. With a chick by my side, the radio does the trick. Dance, dance, dance while the beat's really hot. Dance, dance, dance while it's there on the spot. Dance, dance, dance while the beat's really hot. Dance, 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 yeah.
Look out, here he comes. Make it look ahead.
We like to show our class and play it cool on the slow and jump in on the bass. Dance, dance, dance while the beat's really hot. Dance, dance, dance while it's there on the spot. Dance, dance, dance while the beat's really hot. Dance, 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 yeah. Dance, dance, dance while the beat's really hot. Dance, dance, dance while it's there on the spot. Dance, dance, dance while the beat's really hot.
Thank you. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What? Lindy. Hey, that was good dancing with that guitar. Well, I think.
All right. Now you're nice and sweaty.
Oh no.
You guys, where'd they all go?
Oh, we're just
What a bunch of lightweights all sitting down already. They told me you guys knew how to party. We were about to take you surfing. Where the heck do you go? Should be nice and sweaty. You should want to kind of hit some salt water. You guys want to go surfing, or are you crapping out, or what? Want to go surfing? Let's do it.
Grab your board and go sidewalk surfing with me. Don't be afraid to try the baddest sport around. Bust your buzz now. You fit with the tricks to try out the old wheelie or kickflip too. Grab your board and go sidewalk surfing with me. Try to shoot the curve. Bust your buzz down. Take a chance in a foot, stick to life.
a handstand down the street. Bust your buzz now. A suicide run sure can give you a kick, but if the sidewalk cracked, you better pull out quick. Why don't you grab your boy on the sidewalk surfing with me? Grab your boy on the sidewalk surfing with me. Grab your boy on the sidewalk surfing with me.
than that. Everybody's gone surfing. Everybody's gone surfing. Surfing USA. One more by yourself. Yeah, surfing. Yeah. Surfing USA. Good job. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hope you had a good time.
Thank you very much.
I'll tell you what. We'll do one more. You want to do the one more?
One more song. Okay.
Where's Richard? Richard, what? Night Train. Where's Strushy? Where's Richard? Okay, come here. We finally got a simple enough song we think Richard can do.
Oh, come on. Come on. That's good. That's good. Got that guitar and all things like that. It's gonna be real nice.
Woo! Okay, we also need the rest of the vocalists up here. Let's get most everybody up here because this is going to be the last song.
Yeah, come
Doug,
on.
get Doug out there.
Come on.
Get your butt
People.
over here.
Come on up
You
to
and
the
Jan are going to
stage
start
now.
this. Okay, Doug's coming over here. Jan and Doug are going to start this song. Let's get the rest of the vocalists up. Come on, you wusses. Don't wuss out one more. It's gonna make you feel good.
Well, do it to this one here.
Jano. Anybody should get this song. Those two guys can get anybody.
Here we go. Ba 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 baran. 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 Ba 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 ba. Take my hand, you got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling, ba baran. Ba 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 baran. Went to a dance, looking for romance. Saw ba baran, so I thought I'd take a chance. Ba baran, ba 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 baran. Take my hand, you got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling, bobber and ba 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 bobber and ba 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 bobber and ba 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 ba. Take my hand, you got me rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling, bobber and ba ba. Gary, okay, we got Gary. Get down. Little green onion. Yeah. Bill.
rocking it